I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. First time I'm talking to Anthony Yarde on camera since his last world title fight against Beterbiev. How are we doing, Anthony?
I feel great, man. I'm good.
You still think you're in the Dominican?
I'm still there mentally because, again, I want the sunshine. I would like to think I brought back the sunshine because it was raining when I was in Dominican, so I was laughing at all my friends and family that were cold. I got off the plane, it was shining. It was sunny. So I done a little snap saying I definitely brought back the sun.
Do you recommend people to go there? Yeah.
100%. You know what it is about Dominican? It was weird because it's Caribbean. I'm Caribbean. I'm half Jamaican, half Bajan. But they didn't speak no English. It was all Spanish. So it's weird. You know, I was on Google Translate. Those that know. I was on Google Translate most of the time.
Have you picked any up? Yeah.
Huh?
Picked any Spanish up?
I know. Muy bien.
Very well, yeah.
Sí.
Right, Anthony. So you've gone for the world title glory again. Another fantastic performance. Obviously, I know you're a winner at heart, and it's not the result and outcome you wanted. But from a public point of view, people were very impressed. So how much do you take from that, Anthony?
I'm just one of them people. People scream it, but they don't back it up. I will always dare to be great because I've got one life to live. Opportunities sometimes come and go, and I would rather go into a situation, give it my all, see what happens. And again, that was the situation that come out. On paper, you saw the odds. The odds were mad, but again, I understood the odds because I had 12 amateur fights. He had over 300. You get what I'm saying? He had an incredible amateur career. Loads of gold European medals and things like that. And again, everyone's seen how he's been a wrecking ball as a professional. The fight before me, he wiped out a world champion in under 3 rounds. So everyone was expecting me to get wiped out, etc. I don't really try to listen to it. I'm like, it's boxing. You get what I'm saying? I could have went out there and knocked him out first round. I didn't, but again, we had a good scrap, man. I enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed watching back the fight.
We've seen your heart in the Kovalev fight. We've seen your power throughout your career, your strength, your speed. But what I think a lot of people were very impressed by, as you said, Artur Beterbiev, one of the best amateurs ever. And your skill set, you were matching it at times in there. So, you know, that speaks volumes. And I think you've always spoke confidently. And is that the reason why? Because in your own heart, you've always known you're right up at that elite level.
Yeah, it's they say there's a difference between being cocky and confident. I've never been cocky. I'm just confident in my ability, and I feel like you need to be. Otherwise, don't box. don't disrespect the sport by boxing. But again, people are in boxing for different reasons. I'm in boxing to be the best version of myself, to be a world champion, to maximise my potential. Some people are in the sport for loads of money. Yeah, we all need to feed our families or whatever, but main reason I'm in the sport is to maximise my potential, my ambition, my growth, and of course make a lot of money. Because after the sport's done, everyone's on to the next superstar, the next person. It's all about securing your situation going forward. And I say that like hesitant in how I say it because people say, oh, he's in it for the money, he's in it for the fame, he's in it for this. That's not the reason. If I was in it for the money and the fame, I would have been doing.
You would have taken the step aside money before the Kovalev fight.
Exactly. So I think that shows a bit about my character, because I got offered very, very similar money to step aside than to fight him. I'm like, nah, man. Let's have a little scrap. At least let me work for it.
Listen, you had to go to Chelyabinsk very early on in your career. You couldn't have blamed someone if they took that step aside money, because it was step aside money from Canelo Alvarez, and they're offering a lot for Canelo Kovalev. So I don't think people could have criticised you, but you still went to Lions Den.
Exactly. You was there. You saw the atmosphere, how it was, and I think all of that played a part in how I performed with the Beterbiev fight, because there's something about my mental is that I don't really have this fear factor thing. I don't really, and I mean like internally, I don't feel this fear and these nerves of anybody. Because to me, I saw Beterbiev and I said, this is another human being. Like how I grew up, we can get a crack in any situation. if it's one-on-one, like I had to worry about knives back in the day. Like people just running up or coming behind you. And this is a one-on-one fight, so it's fair.
In a ring.
It's fair in the ring. So anyone that knows me knows I'm playful. I can be serious at times, but I like to enjoy my life, live my life, and inspire. For me, it's like how I grew up is that being able to go to my I don't know if I'd say my hood, but go to where I grew up, or even just be anywhere. Even here, I'm in South London, and you're getting respect. I don't demand respect from anyone. Or I don't fight for respect, because the respect of people can change very quick. But at the same time, it's a good feeling to come from somewhere and be able to go back to your environment and people are like, we love what you've done, or we love what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep motivating us, keep inspiring us, keep being real, because people love realness. They're always going to gravitate towards realness, and people can spot a fake from a mile away, and there's no fake bone in my body.
Some big talk there. How good was he, Anthony?
Who, Beterbiev? Yeah, he's excellent. You know what it is? I feel like I did take something out of him. I'll be honest with you. He said it after the fight. That's the hardest fight he's had. When Tunde threw in the towel, I watched his reaction. When he beat Joe Smith Jr., it was like, he banged the floor. Like he always does it. He drops on his knees, pay homage to God. That's what I like about him as well. He's very respectful. But this one was like, oh my gosh, thank God. I saw the reaction. It wasn't like, yes, it was like, oh, thank God.
Relief.
It was relief. Again, at the time, I was like, why the F would you throw in the towel? Like, Tunde, he knows about that mentality, but people can see from outside the ring, again, it could have went a different way. He does hit hard. He could have went, cool, I'm confident now, and started lacing. So it was meant to end that way. I'm happy Tunde threw in the towel. It just motivates me and pumps me up for future fights.
Well, look, you could have come back and really got into that fight, but as you said, he punches extremely hard, and he's there to protect you, Tunde, not just to train you, to protect you in that ring, so he can't take that risk.
Exactly. And it's one of them things, innit? We're in the sport of boxing. After the fight, I was still cheerful, laughing, joking. I'm still laughing and joking. All I had was, look, this is a little scar. I've got sunglasses on because I'm tired, I've got hay fever. Little scar, and most of my scarring came from the stitches. So I was annoyed by that. I was like, why didn't they glue my thing? It came from the stitches, and where I'm like rough on my face, I kept pulling my face and kept ripping the stitches. So the actual scar is healed clean. So yeah, man, it's good.
Anthony, your stock really went up after that fight. People were linking you with fights. When you were on holiday, straight away, I have spoke to your promoter, Frank Warren. He said Joe Smith Jr. is a potential target. You welcome that fight? You like that fight?
For me, it's like, I've always been in the sport of let's get it cracking. I've always been in that kind of that mindset. For me, it's just whatever comes. You know, everyone knows me. I'm never. A situation comes, I've never said no, I don't want to have that fight. I don't want to fight him. I don't really care, man. If the fight makes sense, because it has to make sense in a business sense and in terms of my career. Yeah. These are the two things. So people are like, yeah, but what about the guys you was fighting where they're really a nobody? I had 12 amateur fights. It's not a pointless fight for me. It's a learning curve. You're getting into the professional boxing ring again, experiencing the environment, getting more comfortable in the ring. I had I'm 24 fights in now. 24. So yeah, I don't pay attention. 24 fights in now. 23 wins, 22 knockouts. I've had a limited time of experience in the boxing ring. So when even the guy before Beterbiev, they're like, that's not going to be paid for Beterbiev. Do you get what I'm saying? But then I go out there and put in a performance like that. So I can't ever listen to the opinions of those that don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying? I give respect. So when I see people on the street and they're like, oh yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that, I'm like, I listen, I'm like, okay, yeah, thank you, man. Because I'm taking it in, but at the same time I try to just dispose of the bullshit. Because I'm like, you've never boxed a day in your life, bro. I said this to one boy the other day. You've never boxed a day in your life. Have you ever been in a boxing ring? Do you know what it's like? Have you even had a fight in your life? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you probably had a couple of street fights where you're able to run away, come back 10 minutes later. But yeah, man.
Last one before I let you go. I will have to ask you this. So, again, apart from Joe Smith Jr., Joshua Buatsi was another fight talked about. It's always been linked with you two. He was out of contract. Frank Warren made an offer to him and said, we'll give you the Yarde fight, come on board with us. Obviously, he turned that down. He signed with Sky and Boxer. Get your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'm not gonna. One thing about me, I'm not gonna talk bad about anybody. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, he had these opportunities to fight me. He turned down the money. He turned down the whole situation. Like if he came with Frank, we would have had to fight. Like me and Lyndon Arthur thought that anyone else on the stable, that's easy to make the fight happen, etc. I'm not gonna say that. You know why? He's got his own journey. He's got his own journey, and I thought that I've had 2 world title fights. I've been in there with, as they say, quote unquote monsters. I thought the best 2 in the division in the last 10 years. Well, other than Andre Ward, who came up from super middleweight, they're 2 of the best light heavyweights in the past 10 years, maybe 15 years. I fought both of them. Yeah, I came up short, but I made a good account of myself and almost, done a little thing with both of them. I don't really compare careers. Again, Buatsi, he won the Olympics. I was rooting for him in the Olympics. He got a bronze medal. The fight happens. There's Callum. Is it Callum Smith?
Callum Smith's out there.
There's Callum Smith. There's Dan Aziz is coming up strong. There's Craig's my boy.
Yeah.
Dan Aziz is my boy as well. Like, it's mad because we all grew up in the gym together. Dan Aziz is my boy.
It's good to see you all doing well.
You get what I'm saying? We're all top 4, top 6 in the world and that. That's mad. And we all talk about this stuff. We're like, bro, look where we come from. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's very exciting, man. There's so many fights, and I'm just the best out of the bunch.
Leave that on that last note, Anthony. Big shout out to your boy Joe on the Joy Zan card as well this Saturday. We'll see you there. All right?
Come on, G Lions.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,